Celebrity Sleaze, some stuff from over the weekend I have not been able to get to, Mr. Barnes, if you're okay with that.
Come on.
Who won that Chiefs-Buffalo Bills game?
Fram, the Chiefs.
The Chiefs won?
Another heartbreaker for the Bills in Buffalo.
Yeah, because a really good friend of mine was there. It looked freezing, but did you see Travis Kelce doing the signature heart hand after scoring a touchdown? You know, the Taylor Swift heart?
Yeah, bro. Come on.
I was like kind of shocked about that.
Easy, Kelce.
Easy. Come on. And then getting into it, the stadium with some stuff on their menus, including the Bad Blood waffle fries, Taylor Swift inspired, and the Karma quesadilla. What is going on?
I don't know, but those people were all crying at the end. I know you didn't watch because you don't care, but all the Buffalo people thought it was their year. Missed a field goal that just ruined them, and all the people crying, but Taylor Swift was partying herself on.
I'm liking her Chiefs jackets, though. I'm kind of liking those.
She's been to a lot of games. It really surprises me.
Over the weekend, this news story came up. Again being charged, Alec Baldwin faces, new charges in connection with that 2021 Rust shooting. It's been frustrating for the actor and his wife, Hillary, or Hilaria, or however you say her name.
Hilaria, I think.
Yeah. He has been indicted in the fatal shooting again from cinematographer Haley Hutchins, or Helena Hutchins. A grand jury presented new investigation into the incident, recommending charges against him and the producer of the movie. He's expected to be charged by New Mexico prosecutors who initially dropped the criminal charges to review new evidence. What is that new evidence?
Well,
that he was holding the gun.
They're not going to let this go.
The 5-month investigation culminated with a forensic expert issuing a report clashing with an account of the incident from Baldwin, who maintained that he did not pull the trigger on the firearm when it discharged. This is insane.
And they're advertising this appearance from Alec Baldwin at the ATL Comic Convention, which I'm surprised dude is still doing stuff like that.
I am too.
And they're selling tickets based on, I'm looking at a live webpage right now, Alec Baldwin at this event. It surprises me.
Could he face jail time?
I think so.
Any, pictures I've seen of him, there was a video over the holidays on Instagram that he did. I mean, he looks really stressed.
Yes, that's why I'm like,
you can tell. You're
taking a gig at the comic convention where you're right in the middle of an indictment?
It's like, what?
And plus, people are going to be all over him in a bad way, meaning like people trying to get quotes. It's not going to be about the ATL comic convention. It's going to be all about him.
I'm saying he doesn't show. I'm just saying.
You would think not.
Another update after last week's news that a biopic of Richard Simmons was in the works by Pauly Shore. And remember, Richard Simmons was not on board with the idea. Well, word now from Pauly is the two have worked out their differences, and Simmons is okay with the idea. He claimed at a screening of his short film, The Court Jester, a separate project in which he portrays Richard Simmons. Is he obsessed with Richard Simmons?
No, I think the feature comes from this.
Uh-huh.
That this was just like the 10-minute thing that got, helped him get funding or whatever. But I think I know why Richard Simmons is okay with it now.
You think he's okay with it. There's still no official word. This is just Pauly Shore saying that they texted each other.
I think it's so bad.
He texted me and said good luck tonight on the show and that he's okay with everything.
I think it's so bad that Richard Simmons was like, okay, yeah, go ahead because no one's going to care. It seems like Pauly Shore. I have a clip. You want to hear it?
Please.
This is Pauly Shore as Richard Simmons, but you tell me. It just sounds like Pauly Shore to me.
What's your name?
I'm David.
Hi, David. I'm Richard. You're looking at me because I'm eating a donut? You think it's weird?
Oh.
Listen, every day I try to find a moment to bring me peace. And every day it's something completely different. Today it's a donut. There was a time in my life when food was the only thing that brought me peace. Food was very nice to me. And I wasn't nice to myself.
You're only talking to me because I'm fat.
No, David. I saw you working really hard not to be noticed. And I know what it's like to want to disappear. What's my first rule? Like yourself. Your weight doesn't matter. If you like yourself, you're going to be fine.
I mean, it's Pauly Shore with a lisp.
It's so... And if you look at the photos of his portrayal, kind of looks just like Richard Simmons.
Well, because Pauly Shore looks like Richard Simmons.
Well, that's true, too. Barnes, my phone was blowing up over the weekend I don't know if you saw this. It's all over TikTok.
Which?
You know about the Grand Ole Opry. It's sacred. It's a sacred place here. Well, they were paying tribute to Dolly Parton Friday night. Elle King, allegedly wasted with a profanity-laced set. I mean, on and on. And now the Opry's apologizing. She told the audience she was blanking hammered. Do you want to hear this audio?
Yeah, so explain to me, because I don't understand the depthness of this. So it's a party for Dolly Parton, and she's performing at it?
Yeah, it's a tribute. All these artists came out.
Okay.
At the Grand Ole Opry Friday night in Nashville, which is one of the places everyone visits when they come here.
Okay.
It's a sacred place. But Elle, who, you remember New Year's Eve, also on CBS, she was intoxicated. Yeah, here's what she said on stage at the Grand Ole Opry.
You ain't getting your money back. I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing is true. Good, because you ain't getting it. I'll tell you one thing more. Hi, my name is Elle King. I'm hammered.
We're celebrating Dolly's birthday the good old-fashioned way.
Yeah, go ahead and tell them I'm celebrating Dolly's birthday.
He's celebrating Dolly's birthday with the bottle.
I'll celebrate a birthday in one way or two.
Elle, let's give him one of yours.
How about that? I don't know. Go ahead. Why don't you give me this? Let me see. I'll tell you one thing. I can barely play another person's song. Let me see if I can play one of mine.
Man, the room sounds like they don't even know what to do with it.
I feel, there is an apology that was issued by the Grand Ole Opry. That was even worse than New Year's Eve.
Yikes.
I mean, she needs help. I feel really bad, but I think she needs help. Wow. Hey, listen, if you, we always talk to our listeners about how they find new music, and I know we turn them on to a lot of stuff. But if you go to social media, well, Green Day is saying don't. Yes, Green Day is saying don't. Mike Dirnt says, quote, social media is great for kids, but if you're finding your music via algorithms, then that's just lazy. All I can say is just clear your search history, find new stuff. Billy Joe saying, with all the algorithms that people live on, there's so much false information. And then there's people diagnosing themselves with Asperger's on TikTok.
You're
That
right.
is absurd to me.
You're right.
Oh, Barnes, we have all done this many times.
What?
Just ask Rob Lowe. Sending the wrong text to the wrong person. Yeah, he was on Jimmy Kimmel Live. He told the story of an epic missed text that was supposed to go to Robert Downey Jr. when he won his Golden Globe. It never got to him. Check this out.
And I'm so excited for him. So I text him, so glad you won. That is the most beautiful acceptance speech I have heard in a long time. Boy, do you deserve it. I hit it and I realized, oh, I just sent that to Bradley Cooper.
Yikes.
And, Bradley Cooper lost, as you know.
Yeah.
And then he said he doubled down, tried to make it better, and made it worse.
Then I was like, oh, I got to make it better. And I said, no, I meant that for Robert Downey Jr. I went, no, that's even worse. I made the guy feel worse. I inputted the wrong numbers into the wrong names.
You can unsend those,
I
but
didn't know.
There's
Now
a
I
time
know.
limit.
How does he not know you can unsend on the iPhone?
That was so... But who hasn't done that where you send
Yeah.
a text? I think I'm sending something to Lanny, and I send it to a friend, and it's some mushy thing.
Well,
Gotten some people in trouble.
But what if you're spilling tea and you send... Because sometimes you're in the middle of multiple texts, and then all of a sudden it's that top one, and you go to engage after you see the preview come through on your phone, and then you start sending it to the wrong person. Thankfully, Apple has put that feature in, but like Rob Lowe, a lot of people just don't know that you can do it.
Yeah, we got to bring this up again. Well, even for someone as famous and well-established as Snoop, 100 million is a difficult number to turn down. That's exactly what OnlyFans offered Snoop, but it came with a price.
She made like 20 million on there, right? They was like, OnlyFans wants you to come on there, Snoop, and do. You can do about 100 million. All you gotta do is pull that thing out. I'm like, I got a black wife. Ain't no way in the world she gonna allow me to go on there and pull that thing out for no amount of money.
Pull that thing out.
Really,
100
Snoop?
million?
Really, Snoop?
Man, 100 million.
People are making money on that.
I bet you he walked away from that soundbite thinking, well, wait a minute, 100 million?
That is crazy. What do you think's going on here? David Lee Roth former Van Halen frontman, made some out-of-this-world claims about his longtime rival, Sammy Hagar, saying that Hagar has been sex probed by aliens after being abducted as a teen in California. Quote, according to Sam, he was abducted by aliens. Yeah, David Lee Roth said this during an episode of the Roth Show podcast called The Ballad of Popsicle Sam. He claims Sammy was taken by extraterrestrials while at a park when he was 15. I think we've arrived in both the technical and the medical answer that may explain some of Sammy Hagar's conduct and his constant spew of diarrhea, vitriol in our direction. Want to hear that?
Yeah, stick with it because it's a little long of a clip, but then he just starts unwinding towards the end. And this guy, who's been abducted? You got to wonder if it's not David Lee Roth himself that he's talking about.
So the closest thing that I could think of, analogous to what Sam may have experienced, because I have no idea. Talk to me, Tom. You're technical, you're digital. What might an alien sex probing procedure, what's the mechanism of that? What might that, does it require apparatus? Is it a beam? Is it like a sonar? We don't know. We may never know. But what I do know with absolute accuracy is that if you take a half of a popsicle and you jam it into a cassette tape player, no matter how carefully you extract it, that tape player will never play the same again. No matter how carefully you try and fix those delicate little parts. And it'll get worse. And it'll seem like the singer that you used to love will stop making sense whatsoever. A lot like Sam.
What the hell is he smoking?
Somebody's going to do like a remix of that with some like spooky music underneath.
Yeah.
What is happening, David Lee Roth?
Oh, it's been happening for years, whatever it is.
I need your take on this. Legendary songwriter Desmond Child, who's been on our show.
Yeah, we did. There was a best of a full hour, I think, with him a couple days ago.
Yeah, he co-wrote songs like Kisses, I Was Made for Loving You, Bon Jovi's You Give Love a Bad Name, and Living on a Prayer. He also co-wrote Aerosmith's Dude Looks Like a Lady, Angel, Crazy, Alice Cooper's Poison. I mean, his list is unbelievable. Well, he started talking about how the music that he was writing in the 80s was overshadowed by the arrival of grunge. This interview in Song Facts, tell me if you think this is a diss. That kind of music was overshadowed by Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, and the whole Seattle sound, which brought in grunge. It was the complete opposite of the extroverted presentations, like chest out, reaching out, looking up. This new generation were what we'd call shoegazers. They just looked down because they had to, because they weren't really guitarists and couldn't really play. Ouch. They could play 3 chords or 4 chords and had trouble with that. They were not virtuosos like Joe Perry, Richie Sambora, Eddie Van Halen, Steve Vai, who could light up a stage. Quote, the shoegazers were more conceptual. Some of them were art students that took up guitar. Their hair was in their face. They looked down. Their chests were sunken in. They wore baggy clothes instead of tight. Everything was completely opposite.
That's stupid.
I wouldn't say that about everybody. If you think about Tom Morello and Soundgarden, that was part of the grunge scene.
It's just an evolution of sound. I mean, that guy's made so much money. Why you have to be dissing everybody like that? The guy's set for life and then some.
And the grunge movement, and
he's still active.
Think about how big it's gotten now with 99X and all these bands having the best tours of their life.
It really is wild that you would have never guessed, if you would have tried to predict the future even 5 years ago, that all of these bands, including this radio station, would have such a resurgence.
It's crazy.
But I love it.
That is your Celebrity Sleaze.